The year 2017 has got a huge step up in the smartphone design language. So called the bezel-less screens, or someone calls the infinity display. The phones from this size screen have went to this size. The Galaxy S8 Plus. So for me, the most recommended phone of 2017, or rather I can say the owner of the 2017. So why not at the end of the year make a full review and show you how does this still stack up, the Galaxy S8 Plus. So it's time to welcome you. Hi there, I am Arthur from Rich at Tech, back with another one. The Samsung Galaxy S8 is the next big thing that takes Samsung's favorite slogan very literally. It has a ridiculously sized screen, top of the line specs, and is equally outsized price. What's remarkable is that elegantly curved screen has a dramatically grown half an inch from the last year's 5.7-inch S7 Edge, yet the phone is nearly the same size. It's just a bit taller thanks to the elimination of the needless bezel and Samsung's familiar oval-shaped home button. Moreover, owning the new Android means you are upgrading to the most cutting-edge VR smartphone available, having the best absolute camera and best display if mattered to you. Samsung continues to be the smartphone trendsetter. Now let's come to design and build. First of all, this is by far the best industrial design on a phone that you have ever seen since date. The Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus design is exactly what we have wanted for several years, almost. We have been asking for a bigger screen, but on a phone that's still small enough to be easy to hold. Samsung nails that balance with its nearly bezel-less front face. It once again eliminates the left and right borders with a gently curved screen and now nearly erases the top and bottom bezels too. It's a neat trick. You are getting an all-screen phone, or what Samsung calls its infinity display, that gives you more screen real estate without significantly increasing the size of the device. The device is 8.1mm thick and weighs in around 173 grams. That's taller than the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge and even the Note 7, but not by much. And get this, the iPhone 7 Plus with its smaller 5.5-inch screen is just a millimeter shorter and actually wider and heavier than the S8 Plus. You are once again protected against the elements too. Samsung phones has an IP68 rating to make it dust and water resistant. It can survive 1.5 meter 30 minutes. Stock displays. The Galaxy S8 Plus has the world's best phone display, and for more reason, that's simply because it packs in a lot of extra pixels. That's definitely not that's happening here. It's new. 18:9 aspect ratio elongates the screen dimensions to give you more viewing space. Now you can train your eyes on 2 or 3 Facebook stories at a time in your newsfeed instead of having to scroll continuously just to read the portion of one. It's all thanks to the impressive 88% screen to body ratio of Samsung's Infinity screen. The Galaxy S7 Edge had what we thought was a good 76% ratio, while the iPhone 7 sits at about 68% screen to body ratio. Samsung's curved Super AMOLED display makes it seem as if app titles and menus are falling off the sides of the screen as you scroll through many app-filled home pages. It's a neat effect that's sure to attract attention. And we are even happier with the gently curved here. We are also mightily impressed with the enhanced always-on display. It continuously shows the date, time, battery life, and tiny notification icons. There are even a way to display wall clocks and calendar and a small image on the always-on display. It is the brightest display on the market now. Playing movies and playing games are thrilled on this display. Now let's talk performance. The Samsung Galaxy S8 is the fastest and more powerful phone we have ever tested. It does not have a 6GB of RAM outside of China, but it doesn't really need it. The proof is in the performance. The 4 GB of RAM coupled with either the speedy Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 or even faster Exynos 8895 chipset topped all the benchmark tests. It's this smaller 10nm chipset that makes this phone more powerful, and they also draw less energy than last year's 14nm chips. Samsung's Exynos chips are always a little more powerful, but Qualcomm's have the US essential CDMA capabilities to work with Verizon and Sprint. Both chipsets are future-proofed with Gigabyte LTE modems and are Gigabyte Wi-Fi ready, which will make your phone faster at home and road one day. Right now, you can also take the advantage of Bluetooth dual audio, which is the output of two sets of headphones at the same time. Samsung is charging you more ever for this phone, but it's offering better value when it comes to internal storage. There's just one option, 64 GB up the 32 GB entry S7. You don't need to choose between 32, 64 and 128 this year. The day-to-day performance with this phone was a thrill to use. Definitely a thrill. Switching between apps, scrolling through the multitasking, opening apps are really blazing fast. If I need to pick after OnePlus 3 or OnePlus 5 a phone, the S8 Plus would be my pick. There was no stutter, no lag whatsoever. With the S8 Plus, Samsung really made me think once again what Samsung is and what Samsung was. Heavy games like the Asphalt 8 or anything you throw at this is a pleasure for this phone to play. There was no heating issues, no lag, no consistent frame drops. Everything was as smooth as you can say. Overall, I am really impressed and really glad to use the Galaxy S8 Plus. It's the most recommended phone of 2017 for me, or from my point of view. S8 Plus really blessed this round. With its blazing fast speed and Samsung's top-notch features makes the Galaxy S8 one of the most beautiful phones of 2017. Now let's talk cameras. First impression. If you're looking for the best camera in a smartphone, you should buy the Galaxy S8 or the Galaxy S8 Plus right now. Samsung's competition has lot to live up to. Sure, everything seems to be the same as on the Galaxy S7 Edge on the surface. The main camera has a 12MP sensor with dual pixel autofocus, a fast 1.7 aperture. It captures large 1.4 micron pixels. All identical to last year's phones, right? Not exactly. While this sensor is same, both the chip and technology behind it offer better low-light photos thanks to the multi-frame image processing. Multi-frame image processing works a lot like the Google Pixel's HDR Plus mode. Samsung's phone selects the best of 3 photos and uses the other 2 to reduce motion blur. It's sorts of like burst shooting, but everything works behind the scenes. Side by side, photos from the Galaxy S8 Plus turned out better than similar shots taken with the Galaxy S7 Edge in both bright and low light conditions. There was less chromatic aberration and grainless in the dark. That's not to say we didn't see some motion blur in dimly lit bar settings when people are moving their hands mid-shot. But the post-processing that's happening here is top-notch for a smartphone. The front-facing camera of the Galaxy S8 Plus has now given a better upgrade reflected in both spec sheet and its overall performance. Overall, if you want the best camera in a smartphone, or if you are a person whose main priority is camera, really go for the S8 Plus. This won't disappoint you at any point of time in a day. Regarding videos, it can take 4K video recording, slow motion, time-lapse, or Samsung calls it fast motion. It has also a continuous shot and something like portrait mode, which doesn't seem portrait mode. Other features like the HDR is really strong on this phone. The HDR can help the phone really boost. There is one single LED flash, but it's really powerful. The back camera is awesome in this phone. Now let's come to battery. Here's a trick of one of Samsung. The Galaxy S8 is big enough to house a monstrous battery size. But given all of the Note 8 explosion, it chose not to push the envelope. Instead, we have a 3500 mAh battery, the same exact capacity as the Note 7 and actually 100 fewer milliamps than the Galaxy S7 Edge. All of this is convertive given the Asus Zenfone Max just launched with 5000 mAh battery. Don't let these stagnant numbers fool you. The Galaxy S8 Plus is power efficient enough to power day half battery life. We did not have a problem running out of juice every day with heavy photo and video use. This is partly due to the smaller, less hungry 10nm chipset and partly because of the default Full HD display setting looks nearly as the maxed out Quad HD resolution. These two things make a difference. The provide fast charger charges the phone in around 1 hour and 10 minutes. Running a 90-minute Full HD looped video from 100% charge, we found the phone to drain 11 on Quad HD, leaving us with 89% juice. Setting it to Full HD, the same video burned fewer pixels and 8% with 92% remaining. The battery backup of the phone is decent. Now my thoughts regarding this phone. Samsung has certainly proven that it has the design and manufacturing strengths to pull off absolutely stunning devices. If you are going to spend this much on a smartphone, you are going to want it to feel special, and that's something both these phones do very well. Everyone who sees you use one will want to know what it is. This is Samsung's latest sci-fi looking smartphone, and its newest trick is maximizing the screen space while minimizing the bezels. It fits a monstrous 6.2-inch curved display into an acceptable large body that doesn't too different from last year's S7 Edge. That's impressive. It features the best phone display, chipset and camera of any phone date. Now advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: best display, great performance, best camera, sleek software, easy to hold and comfortable and great build. Now let's come to disadvantages. Bixby of no use, expensive phone, fingerprint flaw. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Stay happy, be safe. I'll catch you in my next one. If you have anything to say regarding this, do let me know in the comments below.